is Gary Pattern. I'm the District ADSD Coordinator for New Westminster School District. We're going to be talking about tape measures today. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of tape measures in front of me. Some of them are metric, some of them are imperial, some of them are both, and some of them are different sizes and lengths, and really they do the same thing. I'm going to be talking about two different specific tape measures though. This one right here, which is a 12-foot Titan, and it has metric and imperial on it, and then also this one, which is a 25-foot. You're going to have access to both of these tape measures. As you can see, this one has fractions on it. I'm going to go into more detail about the fractions on a different lesson, and I'm going to do metric on a different lesson as well. But this little video is going to talk about tips and tricks. All right, we're just going to talk about the fact that we're in the carpentry apprenticeship shop at the high school, where they're building miniature houses in this room. So when we are measuring, we sometimes don't have an extra person. And sometimes that happens in a shop like this, and you need to use a different trick. Well, this little notch in the end will help you with that. So if I take this and try to measure, sometimes this pops up, and it just keeps popping up. So I want to use the little end piece to help me. So I'm just take a little roofing nail and I just tack it in the end here. And now when I measure, especially long distances, it will stay. Okay? So that's one way. Another way is just taking this little notch again, but if I wanted to start at a certain spot, let's say I had a little line right here, and I wanted to start right at this spot, and that's where my measurement starts. Well, I take my little roofing nail, and I don't have to use a roofing nail, but I can use a screw. And sometimes people are afraid of getting their fingers stuck, so sometimes I use these pliers to help hold. Okay? And just give it a little bit of love. Take this tape measure, and now put it in a little slot there, and I can measure the distance that I want. So that's the first trick. All right, we're just going to talk about the tape measure, and we're going to talk about the scribing tool on the end. This is metal, and a lot of the surfaces that you use are much softer than the metal, so you can use it as a scribing tool on this piece of wood. If I wanted to take a measurement that is 2 feet, so I find the 2-foot mark it right at, or lock it in place at 2 feet, I can make a little scribe mark. And I push a little hard, and that's one way to scribe a line if you didn't have a tape or a pencil with you. So then I take my speed square, and I can scribe a line all the way, and now I'm ready to cut. You can do the same thing with a piece of cardboard. So if I wanted to do a line in a piece of cardboard, I could do that as well. Right? Let's say I wanted to stop at the 6, which is 6 inches, and I lock it into place. I can do a little mark there. And I can even make an indent in there by pushing. And that gives me a little line, knowing that is where I'm going to draw a line at 6 inches. Then I get a pencil and I would draw my line. So that's the scribing tool. Use it, not that often, but it's another tip and trick. So another feature is this hook right here on the end. So if I wanted to understand this hook and why it moves, is because it's really not a full inch on the end here. It allows for the thickness of the hook. Okay, it's not a space that's missing. The hook allows for movement. So when you measure something, the hook takes into consideration the missing space. Okay, it adds up to the full inch. So if I was going over to measure one of the dog houses here, and I wanted to pull, it allows for that extra thickness of the blade at the end. All right, we're here at the miniature house, and we're just talking about the hook, how it moves.
Remember, the 1 inch here is not a true 1 inch. It allows for the hook thickness. So if I'm taking a measurement from here, it allows for that movement and it allows for the thickness of the hook. If I do an inside measurement, it pushes against here and it gives you an accurate reading. So inside and outside measurements on a tape measure are very accurate when it has that movement. All right, so the fourth and final tip and trick that I want to teach you is that this is actually has a width to it. So a proper measurement is 3 1/8 of an inch long. So you can include that when you do your measurements. So instead of bending the tape measure all the way down and saying that that's at 30 inches, you can actually do the math and get a little bit more accurate measurement. So I take this and I go, this is at 26 3/4 plus 3 1/8, which equals to what? 30 inches. All right, so that's one way. You just have to do the math of this type of measurement.